Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm filming a chatty get ready with me slash like life update, just talking about the surgery I had last week. So if you guys want to see me use the Adept Seahorse palette, which I've had for a while now and I've never used, and hear how my surgery went, just a little chit chat, then just keep watching. If you guys are new to my channel, welcome. My name is KARENHARRIS. I like to film tan girl friendly makeup videos here on YouTube. I post quite often, especially about eyeshadow palettes and especially about indie makeup. So if that sounds interesting to you, highly recommend subscribing, turning on that bell so you're notified every time I post. And without further blabbering, let's get into it. Okay, so kind of a random video because this palette I feel like is old. It's old. I think I bought this when it launched, but I can't remember when this launched. I feel like it was right before my daughter was born, or maybe it was when she was like right around the time she was born. So I never got around to filming a video with this palette, and you know how it goes. Things get pushed to the side because new things are coming out and I'm always trying to like prioritize, so it kind of fell on the back burner, and I feel like I owe you guys a little update because I've been talking about the surgery, and then I had the surgery, and then I had to film a bunch of other content, so didn't really get to give you guys an update on that. So figured we could play with this, we could talk about that, do a little eye look. Everything is hunky-dory, right? So this is the Adept Cosmetics Seahorse palette, and it's an all shimmer palette from Adept. I had to look this up. It's $140, which is wild. Like, that is so much money. So I'm kind of mad at myself that I haven't used this yet, but I figured since Adept is launching a palette that I've been salivating over today, I figured I should go ahead and post about this one so that we can have a little bit of a fun little chitty chat and talk about the palette, talk about Adept, and all of that good stuff. So I did film, of course, some swatches and close-ups, so let's go ahead and get into that. Our most beautiful palette to date, with 14 precious gem, opalescent multi-chromes, and 1 semi-precious gem duochrome. This palette is 100% free of talc, glitter, mineral, white oil, and BHT. This palette is vegan and contains 1 duochrome with a translucent base and 14 iridescent multichromes with a translucent base. It is a magnetic palette with removable magnetic pans. Each pan is approximately 2 grams. The outer packaging is made of 40% upcycled vegan faux leather to help divert waste from landfills and reduce the end user responsibility associated with recyclable or compostable materials. That's really cool. I didn't know that about this packaging. Okay, so as you can see, it is a beautiful all shimmer palette. I feel like I'm pretty decent at makeup, but I love incorporating mattes. So I did go ahead and grab my bestie Heather Austin's Adept collab. I don't believe you can buy this one anymore, but it's definitely one of my favorite, most prized possessions in my makeup collection, and she has a few mattes in here. So I thought I could do a little mixing and a little matching, and I wanted to talk to you guys about the new palette from Adept that's launching today. I believe it is gonna be available at noon Central Time. Let you guys know that I am an Adept affiliate, so I do have a discount code with them. It's KHMAKEUP. That way you can save a little bit on this new palette. It is $79. Now, this palette is inspired by Star Trek, I believe, and it's called Sumerian Sunset. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm low-key obsessed with this palette. I just love the color story so much. It looks like a perfect palette for fall. And honestly, I'm like beyond excited for it. I definitely want to know what you guys think. Are you planning on picking this up? Let me know in the comments for sure. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about surgery and all the things and how it all went and whatnot. So basically, I had my surgery a week ago as I'm filming this, and honestly, I feel like I didn't really know what I was getting into. I had obviously known that I was getting a hernia operation, like I was getting a hernia repair. So I had a pretty big hole in my intestine, and the only way to fix it was to have a repair surgery. And obviously not everyone has had a hernia. I didn't really know what it was until I had one myself, and I wasn't experiencing like too much pain, but every once in a while it would get really sensitive. And a really good way to manage a hernia is to just wear like really tight fitting clothes, like tight fitting high-waisted clothes. So I was able to kind of manage like being in pain by wearing tight fitting clothes, but I just didn't feel like it was the best solution long term. And it was really protruding, like it looked like I had a nipple on my belly, because you could like see it. And if I ever wore like clothes and stuff, like dresses or like bodycon clothes, you could see like a little bump. And when I was pregnant, like I couldn't fix it because the doctor said, obviously, like you only want to fix it like once you're done having kids and once your skin kind of stretches back. So our doctor, or my doctor, definitely asked me, like, he's like, are you done having kids? Like, because we don't want to fix it and then you have another kid and it's gonna like destroy the fix, you know? So anyway, we had all of those conversations and I had surgery scheduled for last week. So I had to be there at 5 a.m. and it's basically like a, I don't know what it's called, but you basically just go into the hospital and then they let you out the same day. So I was at the day unit in the hospital, and it was kind of a emotional experience for me because I felt very alone. And it's only because like we have two little kids, and so my husband was kind of wanting to stay home with the kids, and I didn't really want them to be at the hospital. Like, what were they gonna do, you know? So he dropped me off with the kids in the car like 5 a.m. We got there and he dropped me off, and then I was feeling like very much like okay, this is something like I have to handle, and like nobody's here for me. But it wasn't that. It was just how the circumstances were, right? Like you have to do the best you can with your life. And I'm sure that if I had like asked maybe a friend, they would have probably made time to do it. But I'm one of those people, I have a really, really hard time asking for help and accepting help. And it's really something I need to work on. It's probably something that drives my husband absolutely insane. And I don't know if it was something like that my mom kind of made me this way, but I swear she always made me like think like, don't be a burden, like don't, you know, inconvenience people. Like I stress out so much about inconveniencing people, and it's so wild, like because people like your friends that care about you, like it's not a freaking inconvenience, it's just me totally getting in my head about this stuff. Anyway, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna ask anyone. Like I could have even probably asked like a friend to bring me to the hospital instead of having us all like get in the car to go to drop me off. But I didn't want to inconvenience anyone because it was 5 a.m. and a lot of our friends are now having like kids, and they have like even smaller kids than we have. So I just didn't want to like, you know, bother anyone, which is so silly. So anyway, if you guys learn anything from this video, it's that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to accept help. It's okay to ask people. And if they say no, that's totally fine. But at least give people the chance to help out. And like we had multiple friends say like, why didn't you ask us to bring you to the hospital? Anyway, so we get there, or I get there, and it was so weird because you kind of like check in at a desk, which, listen, I don't know what everybody's experiences are with hospitals, but I just thought it was so strange. Like you like check in like you're going to the freaking movie theater and you buy a ticket, you know? So check in, and then you just sit in a little waiting room, and then they take you back and you get all like dressed for your surgery. And I was just chilling in a bed, and she was like, okay, like we're gonna take you up at this time. You should be out of here by like 11. And I was like, okay, cool. Like I was trying really hard to like stay positive and not like get emotional because it was gonna be fine and I just wanted to be strong. So yep, they got me all ready. I met with the anesthesiologist. I met with my doctor. He like came in for like 2 seconds and he's like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. And then they like wheel me up, and I've never had like general anesthesia before, so that was interesting. I feel like I remember being in the OR, and then they like, you know, always make small talk with you just to like make you feel comfortable, and then I don't remember anything after that. Like I don't remember. I think maybe they gave me oxygen and that was that, and I was like out, and then I woke up in recovery and I had a really sweet nurse taking care of me, which like I've said time and time again on my channel, like nurses are freaking angels on earth. Like I just don't know how they do it and how they have like so much patience, and just like wow, like so dedicated, so kind. So yeah, she was like with me, and I don't remember how long I was in recovery for, but then I think they had like a room open up, so they brought me back to a recovery room, and then I had another nurse, I think her name was Vela, I think was her name, and so she was taking care of me. So I like was just coming off of the anesthesia, and luckily I didn't have any reaction to that. So some people have like a bad reaction, they get all like pukey and stuff, and I didn't have anything like that happen. So I was just like chilling. I was kind of in pain, but they were giving me, of course, like pain medication, and yeah, just kind of was waiting to feel better. And my husband, poor guy, he was like managing the girls, and then by the time I was like feeling better and stuff like that, it was like their nap time. And honestly, I was thinking like as a mom in my head, I was like, you know, let me just pretend this is like a vacation. So I was like, let me just pretend this is like gonna be the only time that somebody's gonna like wait on me hand and foot, and I'm not waiting on somebody. So I decided to just embrace it and just like roll with it. I ended up kind of just like embracing it and just trying to get some rest, some sleep. I was listening to an audiobook. I was, you know, looking up things on Amazon, just like living my best life. I had some soup and some toast and everything, and I was feeling pretty good by the time my husband was able to pick me up. So I remember the nurse saying that I could get out of there about 11, and it was like 4 when we left the hospital, and then we came home, and yeah, everything was okay. I was really trying to stay on top of my pain medication, because that is honestly like my number one tip that I learned from my first daughter and C-section was if you don't stick to your meds, you're going to be like in a world of pain. So took my medicine. I was feeling okay, but honestly my incision freaks me out. The scar looks so gross, and I don't have a lot of medical experience, obviously, so to me, I'm just like, oh my gosh, real, like, I kept telling my husband, I'm like, I feel like I'm gonna just like spill open, because I don't have like a dressing or anything. It's just like surgical glue that they put over the scar, so everything's like very much like exposed, and so I was like really, really anxious about it, and I felt like, did I do the right thing? Like, you know, I just put myself through all this pain, and was it like me being vain or just trying to like get my old belly button back? So I was going through kind of those emotions as well, but I think after talking to my friends and family, I feel like it was the right choice, because there's really no good time to put yourself through something like that. And I don't think it was just me being vain, because the hole was pretty big. They actually had to use a mesh to kind of like close it, I guess. And I think sometimes if they're smaller, they can just stitch it, but they had to use a mesh. I'm assuming my skin will just attach to it and like seal it. I just felt so kind of silly for having done this to myself, but I just kept thinking, like, could there have been a different time, like maybe when my parents get here, but we don't have any updates on that either. So I went ahead and did it, and so now it was just time to like focus on recovering. And so yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing the last week, and just trying to take it easy. I'm not supposed to lift more than 15 pounds, so my husband has been helping me with our older daughter because she's a little bit over that weight. And I think I've just heard so many horror stories, especially from people that have had C-sections that have had their scars open up. So I've been trying really hard not to like overdo it, just try not to be like a hero, you know, just like take it easy. So that's been going really well, and in a lot less pain now. My wound is healing up and it's drying up now, so it does feel a little bit itchy, but other than that, it's not anything too uncomfortable. And for the most part, I can just go about my day not really thinking about it. I have 2 weeks left of like recovery time, so we'll see how it goes. But overall, I was very, very nervous, but it ended up being not that bad. So I am happy that it's behind me now, and I can just focus on, you know, hopefully not having anything else done. That's like the full update on me. I feel fine. So many of you have been like, take it easy, and planning on just like taking it easy and not putting any pressure on myself. But then literally on Sunday, I got an email from YouTube, and I was like, is this like for real? And they're like, you're gonna be on Creator on the Rise, you know, don't say anything to anyone, we'll contact you when it happens, kind of thing. So then I was thinking, okay, like they didn't really tell me like a time, they just said, you know, you're gonna be on it. And then I was like, is this a scam? But it was actually from YouTube. And so I ended up being Creator on the Rise for 24 hours, like Monday, Tuesday. And so then I felt kind of pressured in my mind to film, and I think it would have been fine if I didn't film, but I'm glad I did it, because honestly, I just film during my kids' nap time. So if they take a good nap, then I can film, and that's what I did. So it was fine to do. I wasn't like overly pushing myself or anything like that, and it's been fun to play catch up and play with all these palettes. So yeah, that's the update on surgery, how I'm feeling, all of the things. If you guys have any questions on anything, just let me know in the comments. I tried to cover as much as I could, but it's not really that interesting. It's just, it sounds very dramatic. I feel like when I'm like, oh my god, I had surgery, but now I'm feeling so much better. So eye look is done, okay? Very flaky shadow. I did use like these two shades in the outer corner. I like did a little mixing because I wanted a deep matte, and then I used this shade kind of in the crease and stuff like that. This palette is very like ocean-esque, so I wish I had some other mattes from Adept that I could use with a shimmer palette like this, but Adept doesn't really have a ton of mattes. They're definitely more of the specialty type palettes, so I should have dug around more and found some other colors, but I feel like I end up with this kind of neutral look, which I'm not mad about either. I do have one other thing that I want to test out that I haven't really played with, and that's this product from the brand Mango People. So I talked about this. I picked this up from Sephora, and it's basically like a multi-stick, and it's a South Asian owned brand, so I thought I should give it a try in today's video as I haven't used it yet. So this is the shade Jalebi, and I thought I'd try it out. It's like a really pretty terracotta, and oh, that's so cute. I feel like I have like a million products like this, so I probably didn't really need to buy this, but I wanted to support because I had talked recently about how I was kind of disappointed by a few kind of like Asian owned brands that very much use that as part of their marketing. But then when it comes to like swatches and making colors that are tan girl friendly, they're not really always like living up to my expectations of that. So I had heard about this brand called Mango People, and they launched very recently on Sephora. So I thought, like, let me check them out, support them. So they have these multi-sticks as a bronzer and a highlighter, and then I bought the blush. I was gonna get one of each, but listen, my YouTube account is looking real weak, okay? I need to get paid here, so I'm gonna wait on stuff, and I want to budget for the Adept palette. I really want the new Bella Beaute basic witch palette, and then did you guys see the ABH sneak peek? So I got a lot of stuff to save up for, so I'm gonna wait to buy any other kind of makeup at the time, but I have stuff in my Sephora cart already. Like, I have like a little order I want to place, but I'm gonna wait. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This is the look. So I'm gonna finish this up, throw on a lippy. I think I can actually use that multi-stick as a lip shade as well. So these Unearthly lip liners, I don't know if you're sick of hearing me talk about them. They're so flipping good. This is the shade Fiery. I can't believe these are only $6. Like, that's actually kind of bananas in my opinion, but I'm just gonna use this to line my lips quick. Isn't that like such a pretty color? It's like a terracotta, but it like works so well with nudes as well. It's a bit of a dry formula, but man, that is such a pretty color. Also, you guys need to let me know what your Labor Day plans are. I had a big order that I placed on Ulta. It was supposed to come today, but it got delayed, so it's coming on Saturday. So my plan is to just film a video every day while my girls nap. And yeah, hopefully I can accomplish some videos while they do that, because I got a bunch of the mainstream holiday palettes, like the Tarte one, the Too Faced one. Just gonna throw on a bit of this hard candy lip oil. So definitely stay tuned for that. Sorry, this video is kind of rambly, but I feel like the gloss really like made it. So I'm gonna spray my face, I'm gonna put on some mascara, and I'll be right back to give you guys some thoughts on the Adept palette and finish this video up. Okay friends, so here is the finished look. What do you guys think? I feel like it turned out more neutral than I thought. I definitely thought with a palette called Seahorse I would end up with something a lot more like marine, but I think with the mattes I ended up using, it kind of turned this into a neutral look, and that's okay with me. I think I forgot to mention, but I use the metallic shade called Giraffe right here. So it's like a blue shimmer, but it looks very neutral on my lid. So kind of interesting. I love how multi-chromes like play with you like that, because sometimes depending on what you layer it over, it can change the look of it, which I think is pretty cool. Let's go ahead and talk about this Adept palette, because I feel like I have an opinion that I wasn't expecting to have. I was so excited when they announced this palette, and of course I grabbed it as soon as it was available. But now that I had some time go by, and it really is sinking in that I spent $140 on this palette. I think it was discounted when it launched initially, so I don't know exactly how much I paid for it, but it's got to be close to that amount. I'm like a little bit regretting it, because I feel like I don't really need another all shimmer palette in my life. I will say the palette they're launching today, I'm a lot more excited about. Obviously this palette has a beautiful Seahorse theme, but with the collection that I have, I feel like I really don't need an all shimmer palette. So yeah, I'm a little bit regretful that I spent money on this. I feel like if they had just added a row of mattes, that would have been really nice, because I could have maybe created a full look with this palette. And like I mentioned, I just don't do all shimmer eye looks. It's not my favorite. I know people do it all the time, and sometimes people love to just swipe on a multi-chrome all over their lid. But I prefer to use both mattes and shimmers in my makeup looks. So yeah, I'm a little bit like, oh man, I kind of wish I had the money in my bank account instead of in this eyeshadow palette. You know, I collect Adept palettes, so I'm not gonna beat myself up over it, but kind of interesting, because I was not expecting that, and I was not expecting to feel that way about this palette. So those are my thoughts on the palette. I hope you guys enjoyed this rambly video. Let me know, did you guys pick this one up, or did you skip on it? Are you planning on picking up the palette that's launching today. You guys know I love chatting to you in the comments. And like I said, I do have a discount code with Adept. It's KHMAKEUP if you want to save. I'm going to have a new video up tomorrow with the Alma Viva collection from Clionadh. So stay tuned for that. I hope you guys have a wonderful Labor Day weekend, and I will see you in a new video tomorrow. Bye, guys!